police!
Who you are? Yeah, put that on. One in.
Do you speak English?
It's the text sheet.
Okay, take a deep breath. My name's DC Woods, DS Isabella Grotto from Met Police, okay? We believe you're Zhimin Qian.
She worked in a takeaway in Leeds and ended up controlling £5.5 billion in Bitcoin. This is the biggest crypto seizure in human history, and the way she finally got caught, it wasn't hacking, it wasn't police genius, it was something incredibly stupid. She worked in a takeaway in Leeds, living above a Chinese restaurant. Proper ordinary life, right? Probably worrying about the price of chips and whether the delivery moped was acting up. Then, suddenly, she's swan diving into a 6-bedroom mansion in North London. 17 grand a month in rent. Just sorted, apparently. No big deal. She starts eyeing up property like she's playing a real-life game of Monopoly. £4.5 million here, £23.5 million there, £12.5 million for a starter home in central London. All paid for with Bitcoin. 61,000 Bitcoin to be exact. By the time the dust settled, that digital stash was worth over £5.5 billion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the entire annual GDP of Liberia, Belize, and Andorra. One woman had more money in a digital wallet than multiple actual countries have in their entire economies. It's the largest cryptocurrency seizure in the history of planet Earth. And the woman behind it? She wasn't a tech genius or a Silicon Valley mogul. She was a fugitive hiding in plain sight in the UK, and she was very, very good at it. To the people she met in London, she was Yadi Zhang, a sharp, credible businesswoman. But back in China, she was Zhimin Qian. 2 names, 2 lives, one of them illegal. The mastermind behind a massive Ponzi scheme that would make Charles Ponzi look like an amateur. Actually, this wasn't just a Ponzi scheme. This was Ponzi on steroids. Between 2014 and 2017, she ran investment schemes that promised the world. Over 128,000 people, normal folks, retirees, people saving for their kids, handed over their life savings. 128,000 victims. That's not a scam, that's an economy. She wasn't just charming, she was a proper ghost. While those victims were checking their balanced portfolios, Qian was busy converting every single penny into Bitcoin. She was into crypto years before your cousin started annoying you about it at Christmas. When the Chinese authorities finally smelled a rat in 2017, did she stay and face the music? Please. She hopped on a moped, drove to the Myanmar border, and vanished. She popped up in London with a fake St. Kitts and Nevis passport, a new face, and a digital fortune so big it could probably buy a small moon. This is Jian Wen. In 2017, she was working the counter at a Leeds takeaway. By 2018, she was living like a literal queen in Hampstead. From takeaway worker to personal assistant to a billionaire fugitive. Except the job description was basically, carry bags, don't ask questions. Her new job title? Employee of an international jewelry business. In reality, she was the bag carrier for the world's richest fugitive. Qian had a problem. You can't exactly walk into a Greggs and pay for a steak bake with Bitcoin without someone asking questions. Well, you can try, but you'll get arrested. She needed to turn that internet money into real stuff. So, Wen went on a spree that would put a lottery winner to shame. We're talking £90,000 spent at Harrods in just 3 months on designer shoes and handbags. Tens of thousands spent on diamond watches in Switzerland. But when they tried to drop £23.5 million on a London mansion with its own cinema and pool, the solicitors did what solicitors do. They asked, "Where'd you get the cash, love?" Wen's answer? "Oh, I mined it." Unsurprisingly, the anti-money laundering teams didn't think she'd been mining 5 billion quid's worth of Bitcoin in the back of a Leeds takeaway. By late 2018, the property deals were hitting a brick wall. The Know Your Customer checks were becoming a proper headache. But Qian wasn't just looking for a nice flat. This is where it stops being a crime story and starts sounding like a Bond villain origin story. Her diaries, which the police eventually found, revealed she had proper supervillain ambitions. She didn't just want to be rich, she wanted a country. A country. She had plans to buy a micronation called Liberland between Croatia and Serbia. She wanted to build a massive Buddhist temple there and, I'm not joking, get anointed by the Dalai Lama, like some kind of crypto empress. While she was dreaming of her own kingdom, the Met Police's economic crime team were quietly watching. They weren't even chasing her at first, they were following her Derbyshire-based associate, a Malaysian guy named Seng Hock Ling. Qian was meticulous, living like a ghost for 7 years while the Met played the long game. Here's the bit where it all falls apart, and it's beautiful. Remember I said something stupid brought it all down? It wasn't the Bitcoin, it wasn't the fake passport. It was trying to spend too much money too fast. The Met followed the trail from Derbyshire to Scotland, then back down to York. And that's where they found her. No crown, no kingdom, just a house in York, and £5.5 billion hidden inside it. In April 2024, they swooped. They didn't just find Qian, they found the treasure chest. Encrypted devices, piles of cash, gold bars, and the Holy Grail, the private keys to 61,000 Bitcoin. At today's prices, we're talking a valuation of £5.5 billion. It's the kind of bust that makes a copper's entire career. Jian Wen had already been dragged through Southwark Crown Court. She claimed she was just a bag carrier who didn't know the scale of the fraud. The jury didn't buy it. She was convicted of money laundering, specifically for a small slice of the pie worth £1.7 million. The crypto queen's luck finally ran out in late 2025. On November 11, 2025, Zhimin Qian was sentenced at Southwark Crown Court to 11 years and 8 months behind bars. Her bag carrier, Jian Wen, she got 6 years and 8 months. And the Derbyshire associate, Seng Hock Ling, he's doing 4 years and 11 months. 128,000 victims in China are still waiting for their money. The CPS is now in the middle of a massive legal battle to claw back every single penny of that £5.5 billion. The Bitcoin is frozen, the Harrods bags are in evidence, and the Queen of Liberland is currently trading her North London mansion for a sell. Turns out the hardest part of stealing billions is spending it. From a Leeds takeaway to one of the biggest financial crimes in history. And 128,000 people are still waiting for their money. What would you even do with £5.5 billion? Researching these cases and making the videos takes hours. Your likes, comments and follows are the caffeine that keeps me going. It is completely free for you and means the world to me. Please hit the follow button and help me grow.